Hi guys, welcome back to Darish Zone, and this is another video about guess what, Retro Machine, and this is the Retro Machine Gold Edition 128 gigabyte, probably the most loved size type of image, I suppose, because 128 cards are a very good price on market, so are easy to get. And basically this image not much to envy compared to the Retro Machine Ultimate Edition, which have a big number of CD games. This is true, but other than that, beside that, the Gold Edition have the same things basically. The computer and 60-bit console are featured on full sets, and not only because the Gold Edition, you know, when I go forward with my work, I keep improving myself, so maybe I will plan some upgrades, add-on upgrades for the Ultimate Edition for my VIP nights, but I don't know, we can talk this later. But this image have new feature that I will show today in this second showcase, which has some there's some new stuff added. For example, there's Dragon Slayer and Space Ace for Daphne. I added some bonus Dreamcast games, and not only there's a new system, there's a selection of Nintendo DS games. There's just 2 Scam VM games. You can add the games you want. So there's those little new stuff added, but let's back to the feature, because I want to show you the new feature of the Gold Retro Machine Gold that I've added on those days. First of all, the upgraded Bezel Manager, and this is great. Let's check together. The Bezel Manager allow to swap 2 different type of bezel, or turn on or turn off completely bezel, okay? But this time there's a new function which is called Widescreen Mode. It means you can enable the widescreen for every system, assumed you disable the overlays first, because the image will be stretched to all frame, so the overlays need to be turned off, and the system cannot do it automatically. It needs you disable manually the overlays. So let's start to check a game with the standard overlays, scan lines overlays, and you know I love to play Final Fight Anniversary Edition. Okay. Okay, this is Final Fight Anniversary Edition with the scan lines. Okay, the scan lines are the new type, darkened type of scan lines that I've added also on Ultimate Retro Machine Ultimate through an add-on. Now it's standard, because after some feedbacks, everyone basically loved more the darkened bezel, which is less distracting, I guess. The scan lines are the same, very mild scan lines. The scope there was to not make the image the screen too much darker, okay? Because when you enable scan lines, performance scan lines, remember that. So it means the scan lines are part of the overlay. If it seems confusion to you, and it's just enough to disable the overlay, and you see the scan lines are gone, because I repeat, the scan lines are part of the screen of the overlay to provide better performance basically. You see the image is more bright, it's normal. Compared to the scan lines added. So this is for very arcade lovers, okay? Okay. This is normal until now. You already saw all of this. Let's move to the new things. Let's back to the Bezel Manager. Okay. Now we disable the overlays, turn off overlays, and we enable the widescreen mode. Okay, then exit the Bezel Manager, and we back to the game, the same game, and we see the difference. It took me some time before release the image, because I very care about this function, which is present, is enabled. For example, on Battlesera, you can go widescreen, go for third, you can enable overlay, disable overlay, swap overlay. All of that is not possible on vanilla RetroPie, which is used on the Retro Machine family image for the 2022. Okay. So my scope was to add those features into RetroPie, which is not easy, guys. So as you can see, the screen is stretched, and this is widescreen mode. And I've disabled the bezel, okay. Okay, you can do this into the RetroArch menu, to be honest, but I want a solution that you can manage directly through emulation station menus, with the script on emulation menus. You can stretch the image with the RetroArch menu, of course, but now is automatized for all system. In one single action, all the system will be stretched. And let's see together another. Let's see, for example, a PlayStation 1 game. Tomb Raider, for example, the first Tomb Raider. The PlayStation selection is way lesser compared to the Ultimate, Retro Machine Ultimate, of course. But I've added the games with the best ratio, the best yes, online ratio, and the game that I like the most, to be honest. You can add all you want. Okay, I will show you all the PlayStation games after. Let's see a brief moment of Tomb Raider, the legendary first Tomb Raider, unparalleled. Okay, let's try Lara's home, full screen, widescreen. I present you Tomb Raider on widescreen. So you see, it's applied to all systems, not only the arcade that I showed before. Even Tomb Raider, it's widescreen. Of course, for the ratio lover, this is not the best. I can understand. it's stretched, guys. It's not this is a 4/3 ratio game that is stretched to 69. It's stretched.
Sorry about the crate. Run up to a crate.
Okay, so you saw that all system have the let's see together the PlayStation game. Castlevania, Colin McRae 2, Cold Borders 2, Crash Bandicoot, Destruction Derby, Die Hard Trilogy, Air Guides, Gran Turismo, Metal Gear Solid, Parappa the Rapper, Ridge Racer Type 4, Rage Racer, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 1 Director Cut, Ridge Racer Revolution, Silent Hill, Soul Blade, Tomb Raider Last Revelation, Chronicles, Tomb Raider Gold, Tomb Raider 2, Tomb Raider Golden Mask, and Tomb Raider 3, Twisted Metal, Wipeout 3, and Wipeout XL 2097. So it's a little selection, but some of the most games are there. But let's back to the Bezel Manager. Okay, and let's move back to things like it was at the beginning. So turn off widescreen, turn on overlays, and this time we go with the systems overlays, not the scanlines overlay that I show at the beginning of the video. You already know those two types of scanline that you can swap: performance scanline or system related scanline. Let's back it to the PlayStation 1 for a moment, and let's try, I don't know, Ridge Racer Revolution. Now the game will back to the 4/3 ratio with the overlay dedicated to the PlayStation 1. Okay. Let's see if everything works like it should. Let's go to scaling, and the 4/3 is set, so the game is 4/3. The overlay is correct. It's all correct. It's 4/3. Let's see together. When I released the Retro Machine Ultimate, I enable on the option. This is the very new version of the PCS 6 rearmed emulator for the PlayStation 1, which now is fixed and can play the CD tunes properly, and the hardware acceleration is into GPU plugin, and there you can enable the enhanced resolution. I set this as default on Retro Machine Ultimate, but you have to remember that the 2D games doesn't work very good with this filter activated, where the 3D games works very good. Look the difference for Ridge Racer. Okay, there's not you can basically use the accelerator for the PS6 games, but let's disable. I decided this time to release the PlayStation 1 with the graphic enhancer disable. You have to enable by yourself. Remember the option GPU options, GPU plugin, and enhancer resolution I set to off. Don't worry, because RetroArch will keep in memory this change, so you don't have to save anything. Okay, let's back also to the lovely Final Fight Anniversary Edition with the 4/3 setting and overlays with the artwork of the system. In that case, arcades. So there's not the scan lines. You see the arcade artwork. And let's see, oops, wrong command. Let's see the ratio, if the ratio is correct, scaling, and the ratio is correct. So, as you can see, it works great, and I have to show you another thing, another feature that I've added on the Retro Machine Gold. It's HDMI mode. This is not very useful option, to be honest, just for convenience. If your monitor has some problems with the audio, you can enable the HDMI mode. By default is disabled, okay? It's disabled because your monitor should catch the correct setting, HDMI setting from your PI, but that doesn't happen. You can try to enable HDMI mode to resolve the audio issue. If your audio works like it should and everything is okay, just leave this disabled, okay? Don't touch anything. It's just a little thing for convenience. And the rest is the same for the Retro Machine Gold Edition, the new feature that I want to show on this little video. Let me know what you think about. When we catch on the next video, the Retro Machine Gold Edition is upcoming, and just keep your breath, only for VIP and DZP, of course. Bye!